I never know why Spirit gives us certain topics to talk about, certain series. But I trust that it's a blessing to all of us at some level. And let's just know that we're all going to receive a gift at our level of consciousness of what we need. So last week, Patrick opened up the series by talking about the calling of our soul. And I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you were not here, please watch it on YouTube. It was very beautiful and humbling. And he shared his heart about his journey, where Spirit said, how long are you going to do this? And Patrick got up. Well, in his story, he also talked about Saul. And so, recap very quickly. When we get the call from Spirit, when we get a calling to our soul, sometimes it's not like a great spiritual thing like you need to go to the monastery. It is more like, wake up. There's something within you that you need to do differently to bring you joy and happiness. You're missing it. You're missing it. And so in the Old Testament story, one that he shared was about Saul. And remember Saul, when he got the call, went and hid in the luggage because he didn't want the call. I wanted to share that with you because there was the next step with Saul. You know what Saul did after he finally said, okay, I'll be the king? You know what he did? He went home and plowed the fields. He went back to doing what he already did because he didn't know what to do with the anointing. When Patrick got the call and Spirit said, okay, dude, what Patrick did was in 3 days, he left where he was and went into a new environment and said, teach me. Both responses are good. Sometimes we just don't know what to do to change our circumstances. Sometimes we need to go back to the field where we were plowing and say, okay, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm ready, but I don't know what to do. And sometimes it's like, get you gone today, and we follow that. So I want you to hear that when we get the awakening, are not in a position to fully embrace what Spirit is leading us to, because we're not at that level of consciousness. So we have to find the path that works for us to grow. Do you hear what I'm saying? We have to find that path. So I know we're all at various levels of a call. I know sometimes a call can be a whole life journey. But remember that when you accept that call, you are now enrolled in the Universal School of Enlightenment, consciously. The whole earth is a school of the Christ. The whole earth is learning experiences and things that we can grow from. But when you say, okay, yes, I'm going to do what my soul is asking me to do, I'm now enrolled in this mystical Universal School of Enlightenment. And then we experience what is called serendipity. Say that correctly, serendipity. Serendipity, by definition in Webster, is the accidental divine intervention. Oh, Webster. We know serendipity as having our needs instantly in front of us, provided, having the perfect sequence of events occur to get us where we need to be blessed. Serendipity is when things occur to bless us, guide us, teach us, and enlighten us without our effort. Like the universe is going, okay, baby, I got you. You were enrolled in school. Here's your first assignment. Boom. Put you here. I'm going to put you there. I'm going to put you here. Put you there. And it's a beautiful energy of that serendipitous moment. Do you not love that part of learning? Where you feel like you're just a baby and God's got you. And then there comes a moment when they let go of your hands and you fall on your butt and you say, what? Wait, where? What's my next step? And there's silence. There comes a point in our evolution to actually embrace and embody what our soul is seeking to grow within us, that we have to sit down and study. We have to go to school. We literally have to go to school. I know you don't like that, but it's true. The school will appear. It will appear in front of you, and it may not look like the school you wanted, and it may not look like the experience you wanted, but it's there for a reason. And your job is simply say, is this mine or is it not? Is this my next step or is it not? It may not be what you had in mind. Is this for my soul growth? Has anybody been on a journey of evolving to something in a career path, and then a job comes up that's kind of familiar, and you're like, oh, that's not the career path I want. And you say, ugh, is this my next step? Because I can own that job. Is it for my soul growth? And if I get a yes, I can do that job because I know that job. And while I'm doing that job, I'm either going to be taught something new and different, or it will afford me more opportunities to go over here. Do you hear what I'm saying? So sometimes it doesn't come boom, boom, boom. Sometimes it comes in a little where you can handle it and hold it. The caution I give you is your ego. Once you feel like I'm going to do something, your ego wants to drive it. It wants to take it, make control, and make it happen. And so your ego would say to that job opportunity, no, that's not where we're going. We're going to be an astronaut. You don't want to do that. You hear? And then you can't find astronaut employment because you're not trained as an astronaut yet. Do you hear? The ego is energy going out. If we think of that, when I'm in my ego, my energy is going out versus the divine flowing through. Do you see the difference? When I'm in my ego, it's my energy going out. Energy going out. Ego. Versus the divine flowing through. The ego wants to drive because it thinks it knows the goal. I think I know the goal. I can get us there. Okay? The God guidance is spirit, and it's taking you to the product that you don't know yet. You have a calling from your soul, but you don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know how it's going to manifest, but the Spirit's taking you there. Do you see the difference? And oftentimes our egos interrupt our flow, don't they? Well, I should be better, harder, faster, whatever. Instead of flowing with God, what do I need to learn now? What am I missing? What do I need to learn now? There will always be a spiritual correlation to your physical manifestation of your dream. So anything that you do in the physical world toward this path, there is a spiritual correlation to it. And you know sometimes it's just getting you where you need to be so Spirit can reach you. You know, you have situations and you meet people and you go, oh gosh, I never would have met you. A gentleman knocked on our door yesterday and talked with Patrick, a young man, and his first comment, he was there to sell something. His first comment to Patrick was, what are these huge crystals at your front door? And so they began to chat for maybe 15 minutes, and Patrick said to the young man, you didn't come to sell anything. You came to meet me. He said, and the young man said, you're right. Typed in InnerQuest. You came to meet me. How long will he be at that job? What other crystal metaphysical ministers will he meet? Who knows? Maybe it was for that moment. Who knows? Okay. There will always be a spiritual correlation to your physical manifestation of your dreams. For the most part, we think it's one thing we're working for. But since we cannot yet see the end, we cannot fully see what God is creating through us. When the path opened for me, and mine's a really long story, when I was tiny, I was 11, a Baptist child, already baptized, right? And so they would do these altar calls. And so I went up, I was 11 years old, and I was dedicating my life to God. I am frumpy, fluffy, unkempt, unattractive, little tiny child, 11 years old. I mean, the little associate minister came up to me and said, and I'm crying like a baby. He said, why are you here? And I said, I want to dedicate my life to God. Okay. He walked away. Now, I know that guy normally prays with people. I'm a kid. I did not miss that. And I thought, I wonder why. Is it because I'm too unattractive? Is it because I'm too heavy? Is it because I'm too... Why wouldn't he pray with me? Doesn't matter. Me and God got this. From 11 forward, I would say, God, remember I'm your girl? Yo, I'm your girl, God. And there would be silence. Just do what you're doing. No, but I'm supposed to be doing something spiritual, God. Do what you're doing. Just do what you're doing. And then the path opened with David's birth, and I started moving, and I started picking up energy, and I started teaching. From the time he was born till the time, 5 years I was ordained. In 5 years I was ordained. Never once in any of that time did Holy Spirit tell me, ever, we're going to start a church through you. Never once. Never once. We even incorporated in a Quest Church. Never once did Jesus say, we're starting a church through you. Like, okay, no, we're just incorporating it so that there's a structure to it. Never. Never. It was taken step by step by step by step by step by step by step. Do you see? I had no idea what was going to happen. I couldn't have created it. Got me? All of our dreams, all of our soul desires come through that way. They come through this beautiful thing. And if you let your soul evolve while you're walking the path, you will eventually come to that space where you can own that which is perfect for you. Perfect for you. Okay. So I wanted to share Jesus' journey with you all because we do love the story of Jesus. And this is Aquarian 17, and I think he's maybe 10 or 11 as well. Here's a little critter. He said to his mama, he's talking to his mom, I think the Jews have built a wall about themselves, and they see nothing of the other side. They don't know that the flowers are blooming over there, that sowing times and reaping times belong to anybody but the Jews. They think it's all theirs. It would surely be well if we could break down the barriers so the Jews might see that God has other children that are just as greatly blessed. This is a child. And he says to his mom, I want to go away from our land. I want to meet my kin in other countries of my father's land. This is a child. At 12 years old, a man from India came through his town and took him. And he wasn't going to come back until he was 30. Oh, he came back a little in his late 20s, but come back to stay until he was 30. Jesus wanted to learn. He had already been taught by Hillel, the priest, the Jewish priest, but he wanted to learn. He went to India with this man, and he stayed. He longed to learn, it says. So he stayed in India, and he studied with the Brahmic priests. He studied with Udraka, which was a Hindu healer. Notice two different religions, Brahmic, Hindu. When he was 16, he'd been there 4 years, and he'd just been learning. And then at 16, he says, you know what, guys? Let's talk about the caste system. I don't know that I understand why you guys have it that way. And then promptly the Brahmic priests asked him to leave. And then he went and stayed with the low people, the yellow people, the Sudras, all of the people that were in the lower caste system. They welcomed him, and he taught with them and lived with them. And then he went to Nepal, and the Buddhist priest opened up their doors to him. And he wanted to learn, and he learned everything he could from them. Then he heard about Mengsti. I'm told I pronounced that incorrectly. What is it? Mengst is a massive healer in Tibet. And he heard of the scriptures and manuscripts that had all the secret energies in them, and Jesus wanted to read it for himself. So he went and he studied with Mengst. And this is when he does his first healing work that we see in the Aquarian. By this time, he is 24 years old. He has been studying the religions for 12 years. During the following 6 years, he would visit Persia, Assyria, Greece, and subject himself to the teachings of Egypt, to the masters. Jesus left at 12. He studied the world religions for 18 years. Did he go barreling in there and say, hey, I got the download from God? Because you know he did. God and I talk personally. You know they do. Let me tell you what's up. No. He said, I want to learn. I want to know what mankind believes about God because I want to understand where their drawbacks are, the limitations, what are they creating? How can I reach them? How can I talk to them? Why do they believe what they believe? He invested his life journey to prepare him for the journey that he would take when he was 30. Okay? He was one with divine mind. Do you think he needed that journey? Yes. He could touch the seed of humanity. He could understand the basic premises of approach. Yeah, he needed that. And he willingly submitted. He submitted to the teachers at Egypt. Even when people said they're treating you badly, he said, no, I willingly submitted. I will take this test. I want to know what the end of the result is. I will take it. He was learning. He was learning. When he started his first year of ministry, at 30, he began the last 3 years ministry in his own country. When he started the first year of ministry, there were 6 disciples that were John's that followed him. By the end of the first year, they don't give us the number. Rocco Errico tells us there was 100 or so men that followed him all the time. And as he's selecting the 12, in the Aquarian it says that Thomas was a lawyer who came to study at the school of the Christ. And he was one that Jesus selected. That tells us that there was a school of the Christ. Then later in the second year, it actually says that Jesus had... The home of Jesus was a school where in the early morning hours the 12 apostles and the foreign priests were taught the secret things of God. There was a school of the Christ that they went to. First year, second year. And then at the end of the second year, he sent them all out 2 by 2 on their missions. Go teach, go heal, go love the people, remember? And when they came back, he said, good job, guys. You are finally ready for me to teach you. Finally ready. And he taught them the higher things. How often do we kick dirt in the face of stuff that we think is repetitious? I don't want to learn that. Oh, God, I've heard that before. It's coming to you for a reason. There's a new aspect of it. There's something new you need to see. How often do we get stuck in our own sense of power and don't want to learn anymore? When we stop moving toward our soul's expression, we stop growing. We stop expanding. The School of the Christ, what do you think it was teaching? Do you wish you were there? Do you wish you were there? I probably could have sat for 5 minutes and said, let me go process that. I'll be back. And then come back in for another 5. Okay, let me own that. I'm sure it was so rich, so beautiful, and we have none. Only small strings of what he taught in our teachings that we've inherited. Just tiny little strings of what he taught. Yeah, I would have loved to have been there. So, energy going out, our ego. Our ego will bring us back to what we already know. This whole journey on the planet is about ego refinement, bringing the ego back within so it serves the higher self, the spirit inside you. To really know what we don't know, we have to let ourselves go through the classes that the universe will bring to us. I put this in the newsletter and they wanted me to read it to you very quickly. This is from Jesus Teacher Healer. True religion is not tied to creed or dogma. Religion is the growing consciousness of God in man's own being. It's the growing consciousness of God in your own being. And how do you grow that consciousness? You turn to your spirit. You grow your spirit inside you. You grow you. You're one with God. So when man becomes awakened to the light of God, then the Christ within him, the Son of God within him, starts to grow. And this growing God consciousness is his strength and his stay. That's the true religion that all humanity is looking for. That in the heart. All right. When you have a class that shows before you, is this my next step? Is this for me? And then look for the God blessing. Look for the God truth that you're there to receive. Don't go in judging. Don't go in critical. Look for the God truth. You know, we teach classes here, and I will hard sell classes sometimes if I think you're ready. You need to take that class. I think you're ready. Me being your soul, you know. But I don't think there's anything that's taught metaphysically that will not change your life. Because if you change one thought, you've changed your life. You know, be willing to take that from the school, the Universal School of Enlightenment that you're in. Be willing to take that class that's up for you. Whatever it is in front of you. And I know it says, my soul is calling me, but I'm not yet ready. Guys, if you can hear your soul, you're ready. Sorry. Kick, scream, holler, kick a fuss, make all kinds of noise. You're still ready. You're still ready. And it's okay to grumble. It's okay to kick the dirt as long as you're moving. You know? You will eventually relax into the discomfort is created by your resistance. The enlightenment is in front of you to lift you. Here. We don't know who we are. We are in this great school here on the planet. And when we stop trying to become greater, we stop living. All right. If you hear your soul, it is time for you to move. When classes are offered, you take them. When the opportunity comes for you to expand, you take it. Not from the ego, because you do not really know the goal, but from your spirit. And I've shared with you many, many, many times when I was really excited about metaphysics and I was moving and it was all opening for me. And I said, oh, God, just tell me what's going to happen to me. Just tell me. And very clearly and distinctly the words came. If we tell you what is going to happen, you will do everything in your power to circumvent the process. My ego would have taken over and thrown me across the finish line that wasn't mine. And then I'd have to go back to go and start again. You know? The soul that's calling you to be something greater, it could be something creative. It could be something, I don't know. I don't know what your soul wants to experience this lifetime. It does not have to be standing at a pulpit. That was always my soul. Always, as a child, me. This always me. But yours could be different. And I remember one time, we were scrubbing it. We've scrubbed it many years. That means you don't have extra. And y'all know the feng shui story. Intercourse was in trouble. We were going out of business, and I met a feng shui lady, and she helped us, and things turned around instantly. And I told Patrick, I said, this is not something about the ministry. This is not something about my teachings here, the seminary, but I need to take her classes. And I said, I have to for my soul, Patrick. And it wasn't inexpensive. It was budgetary confinement. And you know what he said to me? Then you have to. I said, I have to for me, for my soul. This is for me. And he said, then Cindy, do it. The money will come. The money came. And I can tell you I've done feng shui a little bit in my 15 years of being registered to do it. I have not made back what I spent learning it. But energetically, the gift is immense. And it helped me here too. It helped me in my ministry, helped me understand energy. It helped me in a way that I would not have understood. But if I had not said yes to my soul, I would have missed Cindy, being Cindy, having fun, I want to close with one other story that I share with you in love, not to scare you. One of our members about 10, 15 years ago, she had this calling. It was a real calling, like, I need to take my family to Disney, to Disney, to Florida, you know? And she's like, and they were middle, hardworking people, middle, no excess, and not a small family. And she goes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It was a manifesting class in our Tuesday nights. But she said, no, this is big. This is big. I need to do this. And then she started laughing. Every week she'd come up with something. I found this about Disney. I've got a coupon here. I found a coupon here. And she was so thrilled. She was getting all the discounts to get her there. And it was a soul journey for her. It really was. So she took her family and they went and they had a beautiful time. And within 2 years, she was gone. She left the planet. So her soul wanted that experience. It wanted that experience, and it was saying yes to every single gift the universe was bringing to her. And her family, I know, treasures it as the one time that they all got together and got to really live her dream and walk with her and be with her. We don't know how being who we are will gift others. We have no idea, but we do know for a fact that the gift you have to share is yours to do. No one can be you. No one can be me. We are all those beautiful, unique children. So please, please, please do not be afraid of expanding. Do not be afraid of taking those steps. Do not be afraid of taking those classes, buckling down. Jesus did it for 18 years. You can do it for a couple. And let yourself begin to truly see who you are going to become. Ready? Let's go within. Father, Mother God, I ask you bless all who hear my voice. And I ask that a beautiful calm of light come over everyone in this room, everyone who hears me. Father, Mother God, in this column of light, feed us the food we need. Let us feel that beautiful love of your heart moving into us, moving into our souls. And let us feel and hear your words. Each of us created perfectly by your hand to become amazing. And as you let the love of God move through you, just let your heart open. And just feel that heart. You are eternal. It does not matter where you think you are on your life path. You're eternal. And in this moment, simply say, if you can, or choose to, I say yes to my soul's calling. I say yes to becoming greater. And I say yes to my next class. Breathe. Feel that you stand with God as one. Call Jesus Christ to stand by your side. You are beyond the boundaries of your life. You are joy. God's joy expressing. And take a breath, send your love into your life. Let your awareness come back to the body, to the chair that holds you. I am here for a reason. And I am ready. And we thank you, God. Breathe, and when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Let the adventures begin. Yay, God.